Today we're going to be recreating the entire Fallout 3 map inside Minecraft. Have you ever grown up playing the Xbox 360 Fallout mashup pack and being like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever? But then when you grow up and replay it, you're like, this is not very accurate. This is not how it was. That's what I'll be dedicating the year of 2026 doing and fixing, is making the map a one-to-one recreation of the game. To start everything off, we're going to be building the biggest building in Fallout 3, and that is the Washington Capitol building. This thing is absolutely massive in game, and it's just as big in Minecraft, so we really got to capture it. Unfortunately, I did a little bit of building off camera because I didn't plan on making videos about this, but I thought it would be cool to record the journey of me bringing this map to life. I started with the west wing. This is the side that you will normally see when progressing through the main story of Fallout 3. It has 4 giant staircases and a curved window in the front, as well as a balcony and the main door. The hardest thing was definitely designing how we wanted it to look, as well as capturing the in-game proportions from Fallout 3. It was a little awkward at first, but once we got the hang of it, it was pretty simple. I went ahead and created a structure block of each wall segment so I can just copy and paste or rotate it whenever I need, but there's often times where the pillars change in size and you have to modify it by hand. Now, I didn't actually record any of my microphone during this, so we're just gonna have a small little time lapse here of us building the north wing. I didn't have my microphone on the entire time I was recording the very first parts of the build, so we're gonna skip to the halfway mark when I turn on my microphone. We're gonna watch me complete this episode's build project, and then we're going to go back and at the end see it start to finish. Just a super quick time lapse. See, a lot of this build is just going to be doing the exact same thing over and over again, but it's not hard when you have structure blocks. Now, I'm sure there's an even easier way to do it other than structure blocks, but you know, I've been playing Bedrock all my life. I don't really want to change now. This is easy for me. And plus, it's not really a challenge to build the entire Fallout 3 map if you're not really challenging yourself. I'm trying to figure out ways to challenge my mind. And I think after this point, I literally just burped coffee and stomach acid. It just came right back up. I just puked in my mouth. I think after this point, if we get the Capitol building done, this series should start going along really nicely, because I remember a lot of the buildings from Fallout 3. This is the game that I played through during my entirety of high school. This was my favorite game. What are you doing? What are you doing over here, huh? Get out of here. Little mistake right there. Now we're going to want to bring this balcony over all the way over to here, because if you look at this photo, you can see that it does come all the way up until the 3rd pillar right here. So we're going to have to design the 3rd pillar. Now, what do we want to be the 3rd pillar? Are we thinking of doing double blocks like this? I think it's the exact same wall over and over again, but we bring it back 1, because if you look here, there's a kind of big overhang that's kind of like the remnants of this balcony right here. So we're going to bring it over 2, just like that. We're just going to bring it back 1. And now for this option, we don't have the luxury of having to do these windows all over again. I just realized something. These are way too tall. So we have to bring the window down 1. Hopefully this doesn't completely break everything. Let's take a look. Now it's too deep. I never thought I would ever hear those words coming from my mouth, but it's too deep now. So we're gonna put this here. We're gonna load wall 1. Wall 1 is the one we are duplicating the most in this project. It is the wall that makes up probably about 90% of this build. See, now that is good. but it's off by 1 block. So we're going to need to go down there again and move it to the right, just 1 singular block. And now this should line up perfectly with the rest of the build. Ah, there we go. And now this one right here is also suffering from the same problem of being 1 block too tall. So we're gonna have to take what we know from there. There needs to be a gap here. So we need to go right here, I think. I don't remember. So it needs to go on this side of the block, so like right here. Or maybe right here. Let's try right here, and if we mess up, we mess up. We can always go back and try it again, right? I think that was perfect. I think that actually might have been completely perfect. That indeed was. Very, very good. That's what we'd like to see. It's these tiny little mistakes that you see that can mess up your whole build, because the back side of the Capitol building doesn't have this grand staircase. It only has 3 staircases. In the back side of it, it has 1 in the middle right here. The front that you see the most in the Capitol building is the east side. This is the west side. So it has 1 big staircase here, then 1 all the way over here, and then 1 all the way over here. But this one over here is not accessible. And this one over here has a blue car on the staircase, which is going to be interesting to build a car that is going diagonal in Minecraft. So that's going to be a challenge for today. But we have to figure out this side first before we can do the back side, because they're so drastically different that when we connect the 2 points on this side, on the north side, on the south side right here, we got to make sure it all is intact and it works with what we're going for. So there is a small bit of rubble right here destroyed. It's not a super big part because this is the kind of this is the part of the Capitol building that is starting to fade off. So you won't be seeing a whole lot of destruction, solely because you don't really see this level of detail on this part of the building. You're only seeing this part. This part doesn't get rendered that much. This is why in the screenshots you can see a lot of the pieces of the building right here are just complete sky. It has 1 solid face here, and then there's no rendering of the building. The blue roof on top is completely gone. I'm sure if you can find early photos of the Capitol building, the roof might be an orangey color. See this looks good. Now on the 3rd pillar here, okay, we forgot a pillar. Let's just put that right there. 3rd pillar goes right here. Now this wall has way more pillars on it than the rest of the walls that we've built, which I find weird. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a double pillar here. So one of these walls... Oh, fuck. Well, I'm really glad that I didn't start building this so soon, because we fucked it up. This, look in the screenshot right here. This needs to be almost touching this destroyed piece right here. So we need to bring this up 1 more section, which is 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to move that into this spot right here, going this way. So what I think we're going to do think we're gonna have to do it by hand. Just because I don't feel like this is a lot of blocks to redo. I was gonna structure block and then move it over and then build another wall. But I just feel like that could just ruin things. Like getting the structure block placement right, rotating it correctly. It's a lot of work. And I feel like I'm already done breaking it at this point, right? So I might as well just move it over a few blocks and just start over. It's not that big of a deal. I'm glad I picked up on that because I was realizing it's like, wait, we don't have enough pillars. So we're going to build one more window. And then that should do it for this side of the... This is the south wing we're building. I mean, it's still technically the east, but we're starting to build the south wing right here. Now, do we want the blocks over here to go 4 blocks? Or should we do a 3-block corner? It really just depends on what we want. Because like right now, if we build the corner and bring it out, it should be almost touching. 3 blocks right here. It should almost be touching there. It's a little bit back still. But we could fix that by just doing 4 blocks right here. We need the other screenshot right here. It's a 4. This looks like it's 4 blocks. This is a 3-blocker right here. If I look correctly, that looks like 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can kind of see what we're going for here. But on this one, we did a 4-block because we're trying to make it and fill the space in that we have. So we did this by 1 extra block, and it's only... The fuck happened there? We only did a 4-block so we can do a double pillar here, which as you can see here, there's a double pillar there. That's the only reason why. Now, if there's any Fallout fans watching this, maybe you're on TikTok and you're watching them split up into multiple parts. Maybe you like Fallout. And maybe, potentially, you would like to build a house on this world. Definitely let me know. I'm not against playing games with my followers. How do we do this? It's 4 blocks. And do we need a double pillar here? It is 2 double pillars. Bam, 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 bam. So that would be 8 blocks right here. Wait, this is 5 blocks. I thought this was 4 blocks. Do you think we could do a double pillar design that goes like this? Let's just grab a wall real quick. Do you think a double pillar design with 2 walls would work the same? That would kind of be cool. But here's what I'm thinking. Will it work with the rest of the building? Because that right there does look good, but this thin 1-blocker? Wait a second. I just remembered, if we're doing double pillars... We're doing double pillars here. This only needs to be 3 blocks. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, look. Because if we do the double pillars now... Let's bring that all the way up over here. Now, is it indented 1? It is slightly indented, so we can't do a flush corner. But we can do this now. And now we have a functional double pillar that works with the rest of the building. Sorry, those walls weren't placing there for some reason. There we go, and now we have room for windows here, 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 and here. Now this, we're obviously just going to fill in with this stuff. I don't know why this isn't symmetrical. It goes 3 and 3, 3 and 2. And I wonder why that is. 3, 2. Oh, I know why. It's because this wall is taller than this one right here. It has always been like that. Which is something we're going to have to remember when we build the north wing. That is the side of the building that you would see if you were driving and visiting it in person. Now, for this section, I think we can just duplicate the walls 4 times back to back to back. And for that, we'll have to remember that we place the structure block on this block downwards. So let's bring this over. And we want it 1 back. That's difficult to judge. If it's 2 blocks in length and 1 block back, then we would have to put it like right here, correct? Put the structure block like right on this little crevice. Fill this little hole in with the structure block. Let's try this. Let's go safe 1 block back. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. But if I am, I can just destroy it separately from the build without having to do a slash fill and risk ruining anything else. That's not well 21. We don't have a well 21. And then obviously we have to rotate this 90 degrees. Let's try loading it just because I don't know if the rotation is correct. So we had to rotate it the other way, 90 degrees. I don't know, probably not 180, like 120 or something, right? I think it's 120. Excuse me. I'm sorry for the night vision particles on the screen. I kind of want the days passed on the side of my screen to actually pass. Because I was hoping to see how many Minecraft days and in real life days it would take to do this. So what is 1 block backwards? So if we put this one right here, load wall 180. Is it really 180? No, it's not 180. Interesting. So what could it be? Is it 270? It is 270, but that loads on the... It loads on the left side. I honestly think our best bet would be to just build this wall and then copy it. Because if we don't, we'll have to worry about risking the build by pasting in structure blocks, which delete any blocks that are inside of the structure. So if we mess up once or forget to do it, we'll mess up more than we could fix. So let's begin recreating this wall. We're just going to do this exact pattern right here, but we're going to just bring it back 1 instead of the flush with this bottom one. And that's just so the pillars can stand out like they do for the rest of the build. Now it goes bam, 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 window. Window. Let's do this and that. Let's just put this here. Put some sandstone in the corners. And then we want to make sure that everything looks smooth. These are slabs. Perfect, perfect. That is looking good. Now we can just copy this design and put it on all other pillars, on all other wall segments here. This should be a quick and easy fix. We can just put the trapdoors in. There we go. Now, obviously, the Capitol building in Fallout, it doesn't have these exaggerated arches. But what it does have, as you can see, is this kind of roofed area right here. These boarded up windows right here. It has kind of an archway, and then there's a trim right here. And that trim is really hard to do because this looks like it would be a 2x2 window right here. And that's obviously not going to work when it's to scale, right? You can't have a 2x2 middle window right in between this right here, which looks like it would be 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 per segment, right? So this door would need to be like 6 blocks wide, right? This window would need to be 6 blocks wide. So what we did was we just added a top part here, and then instead of a trim, we did an archway. And this was a stylistic choice just to make it a little bit more grand looking. I don't think you guys will mind, or I will even mind, in the finished product, because it does give the Capitol building a much needed look to it. I just feel like this top part is way too plain, and it just works. This looks good, okay, in my opinion. So now we can start bringing all of this up. I actually might do a little cheat skis over here. I'm thinking we just stand right here and we do /fill. Press tab on your keyboard 3 times. Then you want to waddle over here. And then you want to go up to your designation. So for us, we want the max height to be right here. Sorry, there's a cat stuck to my sweater. Stripped pale oak wood. And bam! Now we have the entire section filled in, and then we can just go in and add the windows up here, the windows right here. So we can go bap, 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 bap. Now we want to accentuate. I was thinking of, instead of doing the exaggerated arch, instead of the 2x2 window, I was thinking about we doing this to kind of do the trim of the window. And that kind of works. Let me know what you think in the comments, if I should change the design of the windows and remove the archways, or if we should keep them arches instead of just having this. This is what it would look like without the archways. It would just be this large empty space that I was afraid wouldn't look good enough. Like I said, the only reason we did this was a stylistic choice. Now it is nice. Now I do want to note that this wing of the building isn't as destroyed as the rest of them. If we come to the screenshots, looking at this side, the only real destruction is this one pillar here. This top part, the like the railing, the balcony, the roof, that's destroyed. But these walls are like intact, except for right here where the rubble pools down into this giant crevice. Now this giant crevice doesn't look very giant, and I think I might fix that. That goes over 3 pillars. It goes over 3 pillars, so corner, little destruction. Little destruction, okay? And then big destruction. I just want to smooth this out a little bit. Let's just do a little tiny stone slab fix right there. So now that's good. That's a little destruction. Actually, let's go back in and fill that in. Little tiny piece of destruction. That's this right here. And then we have a big destruction here. Does it go all the way down to the ground? Oh, there's another pillar here we missed. See, we missed a pillar. That's absurd. How did I miss that? So this is a small gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we actually have to bring this whole thing over 1. God, that's so weird. I think what we do to fix this is we start structure blocking right now. So if this goes over 2 pillars right here, right? We keep this as a pillar in its hole. We keep this destroyed as it should be, leaving it 1 block. So this goes like that. Big destruction. Okay, that goes over the whole pillar and then smooths out right there. And then here's where the big destruction comes in. This comes in 1, 2, 3, almost 4 pillars. 1, 2, 3, almost 4. So this one goes all the way down here, all the way over here. This one again is completely destroyed. That's why we didn't see the pillar. It is completely destroyed. So let's bring this up all the way over here. This is all gone. Fuck this. Get out of here. You're supposed to be destroyed. Wait, no, it goes... Then there's a whole section right here that is fine. So we actually have to fix this. This whole section is completely untouched by the nuclear war. That was a lot of work we just backtracked, but I feel like if we didn't get this proportion right, then this whole side of the wing wouldn't fit, because this is not enough to fit on that. Also, this part of the building right here is completely covered up by rubble. This is what this is here for. This is to stop everything from being seen, because that's the inaccessible part of the wasteland. From here on out, you're going to need to use subways to get through Pennsylvania. Now, there's a whole pillar here. This one is brought up just like that. Can we get some staircases in here? Perfect. Let's put this one here. See, this goes down all the way to the ground almost. Hey, what you doing? Let's actually put this on my second monitor and cover up OBS so we can see what we're looking at. All right, so this goes down to the ground but it doesn't interfere with the trim over here. Wait, there is no trim. This is a bottom wall. Let's put a small trim. And the reason this trim is here is because you can see in the screenshot how there's like this overhang right here and this little thing of detailing. But I feel like if we put flat blocks down here as an overhang, as detailing, it just wouldn't really look that good. And this would be a good bottom part, but this is literally a vent and it doesn't make sense for them to be vents. Now we could probably use something like a lodestone to do the trim, but I feel like it's too detailed. The pattern duplicates too much. Now, if we can find something in this crafting menu from the Fallout texture pack that is lined, kind of like this might work. It's a little bit blue though. Cobbled deep slate might be good, but I don't know. Now this bone block actually. Hold on a gosh golly minute. You seen what I'm seeing? Why can't I fit in here? Get in there. You seen what I'm seeing? This might be the perfect trim for the bottom. And then we don't need this stone trim right here. Yeah, the walls will be a little bit more flat than what we're used to. Let me know in the comments again. I'm definitely going to have to ask you again what you guys want. Should we do a lip like this of stone, or should we do a flat wall like this? It's completely up to you. We have to think, do we want a one-to-one of the game, or do we want what's best? What makes sense? If all of these little pillars right here have tiny little lips and overhangs like this, then see, that's a really big overhang. And it doesn't really make sense to do that. Unless we do something like that. Does that work? You thinking maybe we do this? You thinking maybe we do a little bit of this right here? My mouse is glitching a little bit, you see that? I need to get a new mouse, but I don't really have the money for that right now. My mouse is pretty expensive. I like how I asked if I wanted to do this, and then I proceeded to do the entire trim like this. See, that's very blue. Up there it works. But I think down here it won't work. We could do cobblestone. Cobblestone is an option. We have used cobblestone throughout the entire build. The only problem is it's very like debris looking. It's very textured, right? See, I just don't like the way that looks. I think the pillars down here need to be this with the tuff and the stone, because I just cannot find a design that works. Like, sure, this looks like the game. It has that dark gray trimming all around it, but it just doesn't work in Minecraft, right? Like, the blocks in Minecraft are way too large. The easiest way we can do it is just simply going like that. Now, is it pretty? No, not really. It doesn't really make sense. It would make sense if it went like this. And then the pillar had the lip, but then there's a kind of ugly underside and it kind of takes you away. What do you say? Do we do this? See, but now it looks like it needs to be like that, and then it's too big. But if you go like that, it just kind of makes sense, you know? You know what? If you guys have your feedback, let me know in the comments. I will definitely be reading comments on these videos. But for now, I'm just going to do this trim, and if you guys want me to change it later, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to listen to some feedback. Let's do that. A little bit destroyed. This is intact. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. There we go. Look at that. See, now that looks a little bit nicer. I mean, this bottom part is just weird in general. Maybe if we go like this. Or just don't do a trim at all. What if we just leave it? Or what we could do is this, maybe, perhaps. If there was like a gray shelf, that would look great, but shelves are too new for this texture pack to have it in it. We could do that, but that looks very, very bright, right? Okay, we got very, very, very sidetracked. Let's put this up here and continue building. This is some debris. Let's make it so this goes here. That goes there. Let's make a stair. There you go. That's that. This is the intact wall. It goes up all the way over here. And then there's a stair. And then a block. Perfect. Now this is where everything starts to get super destroyed. And it goes 1, 2, 3 whole sections. So 4 blocks over. Pillar. This is also destroyed. But it's a little bit taller than the other one. So we'll do 3 blocks. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. This wall is mostly intact except for it has a crack going down the middle of it. Night vision is about to wear off, but that's cool because I'm just a nonchalant person. Just, I don't care, you know, it's whatever. And a little cracky wacky like that. And that big crack opens up to something like that. Just like that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is actually almost a 1-to-1. Perfect, perfect. That's broken. Actually, wait, there's one more pillar here. This pillar's broken. And then it fades up to here. It fades up to here, right? And then it goes one more pillar. Fuck, this is bigger than I thought. God damn. One more pillar over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that is officially the end of the bottom wall. Now, what I'm concerned about is you see how I tried to do that slash command over there and it didn't work? If I have to do bigger projects that require fill commands, how am I supposed to do that if it can't place blocks outside the world? The only thing I can think of is we change the render simulation distance. We turn it all the way up, right? Can we even do that once we create a world? $192 blocks. That's pretty bad. That's pretty good. There we go. Wonderful. There you go. Starting to become daytime now, so we don't need the thing here. And this is where it has the crack. A little crack, bruv. Just a little crack, bruv. Yeah, put a little crack in there, bruv. Little crack right in the top there. Stone slab right in there. Little cracky. Little crackerson. This goes all the way down to the bottom. A button of crack. Yeah, right there. So overall, we didn't have to extend it a tremendous amount. That was a big setback, though. We definitely wasted at least 20 minutes on that. We have to fill all of this back in with blackstone, which is not going to be fun. I just want to build. I don't want to decorate. This is work. I don't want to work. Hey. There you go. Let's just fill that in quite messily right there. Let's count. Let's do our calculations again. After we fix this, I forgot that we were messing around with this. Let's put all of this back to normal so nobody eats our children. Nope, that's a misplace. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Let's do a little county countersin, okay? We got whole wall, little tiny break in wall. Whole wall, little breaky. Okay? And then big breaky goes over 2. 1, 2. Big breaky, 1, 2. Alright, now we got a intact wall right here. Perfectly intact segment. Everything's intact here. Yep, looking good. Awesome. Now this one goes over 3 whole segments. Bam, bam, and bam. Big divot here starts to fade up. Let's see if we got the shape right. I think we got the shape spot on. That is really good. And now this goes all the way back here into where the building is, which is going to be back here. So let's break all the way over here. Then the rubble will come all the way back. Quite the big piece of destruction filled with bricks and stuff. Let's feel like this will be a giant brick. We'll put that along inside the rubble because that's a lot of what the debris is. It's just a whole bunch of broken wall segments. So that's good. And then we have a small crack directly after. Small little crackerson, and then a pillar, and then I assume it goes backwards again and then curves. I think we might have to load into Fallout 3 and see what goes on after that point, because this part of the wall is going to be super easy. Just this copied and paste. Actually, I think I might copy this entire segment and copy and paste it. But we want to get this done first. We want to get this segment. Oh, we have to fill the whole thing in with blackstone. It's not going to be fun. Okay, it's not that big of a destruction if we just bring this over here. And there you go. That saves us a little bit of texturing to do. Not a whole lot, but I'll take it. We can just bring this down however we please. I think we just do a little bit of this. You know, fill in the areas as much as we can with this little work. Because if we're doing a big project like this, you want to enjoy it. Last thing you want to do is get bored of what you're doing. Hate what you're loving. Let's just put that there as a boundary so we can place blocks underneath, so we don't have to worry about doing it later. Perfect. That looks good. That's pretty destroyed. If you ask me on what looks destroyed, that looks destroyed. And now this one is just flat. We can just do this. And just put that there. Bap, 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 bap. Little tiny crack. Just a little baby. Little baby crack. Perfect. Oh, I see a hole. Look at that little hole. Bap. And then there you go. Perfect. So we can just scatter this shit around. We'll add like gravel and stuff later. We don't really need to make it super detailed right now. Yeah, let's just do that. And now it's time for this section. This one's going to be fun. We do 4 blocks, bring that all the way down there, and now we finally get to start working. Hold on, let me just... Is the wing really this large? Oh, come on, you're on the block. Beautiful, look at that. Just like mums used to make. Good, 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 good. Boom. Boom, boom. 1 window. 2 window. 3 window. 4 window, 5 window, 6, 7, 8 windows. Can we fit 8 whole windows in here? Firstly, can we find a front-facing segment that is flat that we can copy and paste? No. Then we're probably going to have to copy one and then rotate it. Do we copy rotating and rotate it and then do it? No, none of these are flat. Wait, this is a flat section. This is also... This part right here is fortunately facing the right direction. We can do... Let's go 5 blocks. Okay. And then we can go height of 21 blocks. Let's go 23 blocks. 24 blocks. Let's do 3 blocks and then offset it by 1. Nope, that is not. Let's do -1. There we go. Now we get the overhang in there, which saves us a whole bunch of texturing work. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see what we're working with right here. So it's this section right here that will work. That's a big balcony, yeah. Then that will go here in a 3x3. Let's build the corner first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves over here. 1. Let's do that. We're trying to plan out how we want the pillars, because each pillar is going to be pretty large, and it is lined up with this section right here. So it's a 2-block pillar, but we need to make it 1 block. So I think we do a 3-block gap right here instead of a 2-block pillar. Or we can do, hear me out, 1-block pillar, 1-block wall. Three-block pillar, 1-block wall. Okay, here's what I'm thinking, man. All right, so we do. Let's bring this photo over here. We, of course, do the same wall texture. We go 1, 2, 3. Bring that all the way up. Put a window there, and then add a trim. Bap. All right, and then here, we do that. We bring the trim all the way around. Now we're gonna need a stone brick. Put that in the corner. And so now this pillar can line up right here. Well, no, it's back 1. So how do we make this pillar line up with the corner? Thinking we do a little 3-blocker here. And then we put the... Give me back my stairs. Why are you upside down? We do that. Bring that bad boy up like there. And now we have it centered. And now we can do the window. It starts right here. So we go 1, 2, 3. Bam! Perfect. We go 1, 2, 3. And now from this point on, it will go like this. Right? And so the pillars will be in the center of each window. It's just this, the pillars will be down here, right? So those will be big girthy pillars with lots of texture. All the way up here. And so now they're centered with the windows like they are in the screenshot. They're centered in between the windows. Come here, look at this, see? They're centered, and it's a 1-block. So it's a 1-block pillar, 1-block thing. It's just the things up top, the little pillar bottoms, they're really thick. They're thick and they're out there. Okay, let's just get to it, shall we? So I have to assume that this is covered up by rubble, but it continuously goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Now this works unbelievably well because the rubble starts to cut off the 8th window, as you can see right here, starts to cut it off completely. Now, is this a corner? Is this a corner? Is this a 90-degree angle that goes indented? That's what we're gonna have to find out. Before we continue this, I think we need to boot up Fallout 3. We're gonna climb up here if we can. Sorry, my legs are a little bit broken. There doesn't appear to be barrier blocks over here, so I'm just gonna waddly D right up here. We're gonna do TGM and TFC. And that will allow us to stay invulnerable while exploring the wasteland. So, yep, 5th window's blocked off. And the balcony cuts off, but it doesn't appear that there is literally anything else. This is all a mystery. Now, how we get on over there, I think we find like the nearest POI we can to this place, and we take a look over to it. Facing this direction, it's probably Pennsylvania Avenue East, which is crazy. So where would the Capitol building be? The Capitol building is directly behind this wall. So if we can find a way to get over here, which it doesn't appear we'll be able to do. This is a metro station. Not when I'm recording a video, buddy. $69. Oh, there's the Capitol building over there. All right, let's see if we can get a good look at it. Now, this is a long shot because it is way out of render distance for this old of a game. But, hey, stop grabbing my fucking shirt, bro. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's completely barren. And it doesn't appear that there's any other POI that we could use. The mall northeast. Let's go to the Hobo Hotel. Alright, I'm at the Hobo Hotel, which is literally just right in front of me. Eek. We need to get to the mall northeast, which I don't know how to do, so we're going to teleport back to the Capitol building. Yep, that's indeed the Capitol building. And we're trying to get to the mall northeast, which is over here. This is the section we're trying to build. We don't know what's on the other side. I might just do a flat wall and call it a day. Just because if there's nothing to go off, how are we going to do it? See, this Washington Monument is actually like so unbelievably far away from the Capitol in real life. Like if you look at aerial photos, it's just horrendously large. This building's going to be easy. It's mostly just brick. These pillars are pretty thick though. So yeah, this is just nothing. We can get to the back side of the National Archives right here. Yeah, so it doesn't appear that there is a side face of any part of the Capitol building, no matter which way you go to. So I think our best bet is to literally just build however we want. That's going to have to do it for this video. I'm out of time for right now, but we will continue exactly where we left off in episode 2.